Chosen one, this is not a moment to scroll, skim, or treat lightly, because what is happening right now is not ordinary and it is not accidental. This is a divine interruption, placed directly into your timeline by God Himself. Heaven has stepped into your flow and pressed pause, not because you were going the wrong way, but because you were about to move forward without full alignment. God does this only when something is too important to risk being misunderstood or missed. This message is not motivational content, not inspiration for the day, and not a comforting reflection. It is an interruption from heaven, a moment where eternity leans into your present and demands your attention. You did not arrive here randomly. You were summoned. Something in your spirit already sensed it before your mind could explain it. That tightening in your chest, that sudden stillness, that awareness that this feels different, that is sacred urgency activating. God is speaking because time itself has become part of the message. Understand this clearly. When God pauses time, it is never to delay destiny. It is to preserve it. This pause is not rejection, not punishment, and not evidence that you missed your moment. It is mercy. Divine restraint is one of the highest forms of love. God is holding back outcomes, consequences, exposures, and even blessings until you are internally aligned with what you are externally called to carry. Heaven would rather interrupt your momentum than allow you to step into something prematurely and be crushed by it later. Sacred urgency does not always come with panic or fear. Sometimes it comes quietly, pressing on your spirit until you can no longer ignore it. This is one of those moments. You may feel like things have slowed down around you for no clear reason, like progress paused just as you were getting close. That is not resistance, it is protection. This is why this moment cannot be ignored. God is not just speaking to you, He is adjusting around you. Time is bending so that your awareness can catch up with your assignment. Heaven is saying, stop, look, listen. Because what comes next will require precision, obedience, and spiritual maturity. If you rush this moment, you risk misunderstanding the very grace that is trying to shield you. Many people pray for speed, but God prioritizes accuracy. He knows that one step taken out of alignment can cost years of recovery. So instead of allowing you to move forward blindly, He interrupts you lovingly. This pause is not empty, it is filled with instruction. Sacred urgency means this window will not remain open forever. It does not mean God is angry. It means God is intentional. There are moments where heaven speaks softly and moments where heaven interrupts loudly. This is the latter. You are being warned, not threatened. Alerted, not accused. God is saying that this moment matters more than it appears, and how you respond now will echo into what unfolds next. Eternity is not rushing you, but it is watching you. This is a holy checkpoint, a divine recalibration, a moment of mercy where time itself waits for your agreement. Do not dismiss it. Do not delay your response. This interruption is proof that you are seen, known, and still being actively guided by God. Chosen one, if you have been confused by the way your life seems to be moving lately, you are not imagining it. Time has been behaving strangely around you because heaven has intervened. Things that should have ended are still lingering. Doors that logically should have closed remain open. Deadlines that should have expired without mercy feel suspended, as if something unseen is holding them back. Progress feels slowed, outcomes feel delayed, and plans appear to be hovering in an unfinished state. In the natural realm, this can feel frustrating, disorienting, even discouraging. But in the spiritual realm, this is one of the clearest signs that divine timing has overridden human timing. God has stepped into your schedule and rewritten it according to readiness, not expectation. Human timing is driven by pressure, comparison, fear of being left behind, and visible results. Divine timing is driven by alignment, capacity, and protection. God does not ask, "Are you tired of waiting?" He asks, "Are you ready to sustain what you are asking for?" When time is extended, it is not because you failed to qualify. It is because something still needs to be fortified. Heaven does not rush what is fragile, and it does not release what could collapse under its own weight. This extension is not punishment, it is precision. God is adjusting variables you cannot see, removing people who would sabotage you later, delaying exposure that would have harmed you, and rearranging environments so that when the release comes, it does not destroy you. What feels like delay is actually alignment happening invisibly. God is orchestrating behind the scenes while you wrestle with impatience on the surface. He is protecting you from outcomes that would have looked successful but ended in loss. Some prayers were answered with wait, not because God said no, but because He saw what you could not. Heaven stretches time when destiny needs reinforcement. If God allowed everything to happen on your schedule, you would arrive early but unprepared. And arriving early without capacity is more dangerous than arriving late with wisdom. This is why you must not misinterpret extended time as abandonment. God has not forgotten you. He is guarding you. He is refining you so that what He releases into your hands does not become a burden instead of a blessing. If you could see what was being prevented, what was delayed to spare you heartbreak, exposure, burnout, or destruction, you would stop asking why it's taking so long and start thanking God for every paused moment. Time is being extended because your destiny is valuable and valuable things are never rushed. Heaven is more invested in your longevity than your speed. Chosen one, this is not a message meant to be consumed passively and forgotten the moment the screen goes dark. This is a sacred invitation into participation. Because heaven does not move in response to spectators, it moves in response to agreement. God could accomplish everything without you, but He chooses to work through willing vessels, through those who respond, speak, and align. That is why this message keeps calling you to stay until the end, to engage, to comment, to write your wishes, and to release the number 99. This is not ritual, superstition, or symbolism for entertainment. This is spiritual activation. In the unseen realm, words are not harmless and silence is not neutral. Every spoken or written word carries frequency, intention, and authority. When you write, you are not informing God of what He already knows. You are aligning your spirit with what He is preparing to release. The number 99 represents completion just before overflow, alignment just before acceleration. It is the moment where preparation reaches fullness, but manifestation has not yet broken through. Writing it is a signal of readiness, a declaration that you understand the season you are in. Heaven responds to resonance, not noise. When your inner belief matches your outward declaration, movement begins. This is why your participation matters. Faith that stays silent often stays dormant. God waits for agreement because agreement authorizes action. When you declare your desire, your surrender, or your expectation, you are stepping into co-creation with God. You are saying, I am present. I am aware. I am aligned. And heaven responds to that alignment. This is also why your intentions matter in this season. Your words are shaping the spiritual atmosphere around you. Complaints reinforce delay. Fear reinforces restriction. But intention, spoken with awareness, creates pathways. God has already extended time, but what you do inside that extension determines what comes next. When you comment, when you write, when you engage consciously, you are not chasing manifestation, you are preparing capacity. Heaven is watching for responsiveness, not perfection. God is not asking you to have everything figured out. He is asking you to participate instead of observe. This is the difference between people who experience delay forever and those who move from delay into acceleration. Those who partner with God do not just wait, they prepare, declare, and align. Participation is proof that you understand the moment you are in. This sacred pause is interactive. Heaven has slowed the timeline so that your voice, your intention, and your obedience can be calibrated before movement resumes. This is not about visibility or algorithms. It is about spiritual readiness. God often waits for your mouth to catch up with His will. When you speak in agreement, you unlock momentum. So do not dismiss this invitation. Do not treat engagement as optional. What you release now is shaping what you receive later. This is a co-authored moment between heaven and earth. God has extended time, but He is watching how you respond within it. Your participation is not small, it is prophetic. Chosen one, if you have ever wondered why your life seems to move at a different pace than those around you, this is why. Time does not operate normally around those who are marked by God. Your journey has never followed predictable patterns because your assignment is not ordinary. Heaven does not rush what carries weight, and it does not release power into vessels that have not yet been reinforced. This is why you experience seasons of intense acceleration followed by long, uncomfortable pauses that make no sense to people watching from the outside. Time bends around purpose. It stretches, contracts, pauses, and accelerates according to heaven's calendar, not human expectation. For the chosen, delay is not denial, it is development. God slows you down when depth is required, because shallow vessels cannot carry eternal weight. You may feel behind, overlooked, or late compared to others, but that feeling is not evidence of failure. It is often proof that refinement is taking place. Heaven is not interested in how fast you arrive. It is concerned with who you are when you get there. Many people arrive early and collapse quickly because they were never prepared to sustain what they prayed for. God refuses to do that to you. So He pauses you, stretches time, and works beneath the surface where no one applauds and no one understands. Destiny pauses are preparation pauses. God halts momentum to reinforce character, sharpen discernment, and expand spiritual capacity. You are not being held back, you are being strengthened. The reason it feels uncomfortable is because growth always resists familiarity. You are being reshaped to fit what is coming, not what is comfortable. Heaven knows that if you moved forward too soon, you would be forced to grow under pressure instead of in privacy. So God grows you now, quietly, intentionally, and thoroughly. This is why comparison is dangerous in this season. Others may appear ahead of you, progressing faster, achieving sooner, or receiving quicker validation. But their timeline is not your timeline. Their calling does not require what yours requires. God customizes time according to assignment. What you carry demands maturity, endurance, and discernment. Heaven slows the chosen because the cost of collapse would be too great. You are not late, you are protected. You are not behind, you are being fortified. Feeling stuck is often the final stage before release. It means God has stopped external movement so that internal formation can finish. This is where impatience must die and trust must mature. Time behaves differently for you because eternity has a greater investment in your outcome. Heaven is not careless with you. Every pause is intentional. Every delay is calculated. Every slow season is preparing you for a moment that will require strength, clarity, and authority. So stop interpreting delay as disqualification. It is confirmation that you are still in God's hands. Time has slowed because your destiny is heavy, and heavy things require reinforcement before release. Chosen one, understand this clearly so you do not misinterpret the season you are in. The extension of time you are experiencing carries a warning, but it is not a threat. God does not warn to intimidate, He warns to protect. This pause is not a wall designed to block you. It is a window opened by mercy, and every window has a limited span. Heaven has stretched time not so you can relax into complacency, but so you can realign, repent where necessary, and move with intention. Grace is never permission to remain unchanged. Grace is opportunity, precious, powerful, and time-sensitive. Many people mistake delay for safety, but safety without obedience eventually becomes vulnerability. This warning exists because what is coming carries consequence as well as reward. God is preparing you for something that will amplify whatever state you are in. If you step forward misaligned, what was meant to bless you could overwhelm you. That is why heaven presses pause and speaks before movement resumes. This is not God withholding goodness, it is God preventing damage. He is saying, do not drift. Do not assume. Do not treat this season casually. Extended time is not endless time. There is a difference between patience and postponement, and heaven does not postpone forever. The danger in this season is not failure, it is familiarity. Familiarity breeds carelessness. When time stretches, people relax their vigilance. They pray less intentionally, listen less carefully, and assume tomorrow will always be available. That is why the warning is necessary. God is alerting you before complacency sets in. This is a season to tighten discipline, sharpen discernment, and become spiritually alert, not spiritually sleepy. What you ignore now will confront you later, and what you correct now will protect you later. This warning is gentle but firm. God is saying, do not waste what I am holding open for you. Some doors remain open right now not because you are entitled to them, but because mercy is intervening. Heaven is watching how you steward this pause. Are you growing or just waiting? Are you aligning or just surviving? Time extended without transformation eventually becomes judgment, not because God is harsh, but because opportunity unresponded to hardens into consequence. You are being given a sacred window to move intentionally. God is not asking you to panic. He is asking you to wake up. This delay is your chance to shift patterns, release distractions, and step out of cycles that would have followed you into the next season. The warning is simple. Do not confuse mercy with permission to remain the same. What comes next will require clarity, obedience, and focus. Heaven is making sure you are ready before the clock resumes. Chosen one, if you have felt unusually alert, restless, or stirred on the inside without a clear reason, it is because heaven has already notified you. God does not always announce himself with thunder. Often he whispers through patterns, repetition, and subtle disruption. The signs you are experiencing are not random, and they are not psychological coincidence. They are spiritual signals. Waking at unusual hours, especially in the early morning. Dreams that feel vivid, symbolic, or emotionally charged. Numbers repeating. Conversations echoing the same themes. A pressure in your spirit that refuses to let you fully relax. These are all indicators that your spiritual sensitivity has been heightened because a shift is approaching. God often increases awareness before he increases movement. The stirring you feel is not anxiety, it is activation. Heaven is tuning your perception so you do not miss what is unfolding. When God prepares to move, he first prepares the vessel to recognize the movement. Silence becomes louder. Stillness becomes instructive. Time itself begins to speak. You may feel drawn to prayer without knowing what to pray, drawn to stillness without knowing what to listen for. This is because your spirit recognizes that instruction is coming before manifestation. Once awareness arrives, responsibility follows. You cannot unknow what has been revealed. These signs are not meant to impress you, they are meant to prepare you. God is saying, pay attention now so you don't panic later. Heaven always alerts before it acts. The signs are not the destination, they are the notification. They exist to move you into alignment before change becomes visible. This is why discernment is critical in this season. Not every feeling is fear. Not every disruption is attack. Some disturbances are divine. God unsettles what He is about to upgrade. He disrupts rest when complacency would keep you stagnant. If you have felt an inner fire, a sense of urgency, or a spiritual pressure that does not leave, it is because time itself is speaking to you. Heaven is pressing on your awareness, so you will not miss the moment of movement. Do not numb this sensitivity. Do not drown it in distraction. This is not the season to silence the stirring. Lean into it. Ask what God is highlighting. Watch what repeats. Notice what refuses to leave your attention. These are instructions in coded form. The chosen are alerted before they are advanced. You are being prepared to move with clarity instead of confusion. Heaven has notified you because what comes next requires awareness, not reaction. Chosen one, understand this clearly so you do not misread the season you are standing in. The storm you sensed was not canceled, it was paused. Heaven did not remove it, heaven delayed it. God does not always eliminate storms, but He does reposition His chosen before impact. This pause in time is not random, it is strategic. It is God stepping in before collision, before exposure, before consequence, and saying, move now while there is still space. Delay creates room for obedience. It creates space for correction. It creates margin for movement that would not have been possible once momentum resumed. This is why stillness has surrounded you, not because nothing is happening, but because repositioning must happen quietly. Repositioning always happens before release and before resistance. God adjusts placement before pressure. He moves people, relationships, locations, mindsets, and habits before the storm arrives so that what would have destroyed you instead passes over you or works in your favor. If you stay where you are simply because it is familiar, you may experience unnecessary damage. Heaven is offering you advance warning because obedience is easier before the storm than during it. Many people pray for protection while refusing to move. But protection often looks like relocation, internally or externally. This is why you may feel an urge to shift that you cannot fully explain. A sense that where you are is no longer safe, even if it once was. A discomfort with patterns you used to tolerate. A divine dissatisfaction that refuses to let you stay still. That is not fear, that is guidance. God is saying, if you stay here, you will experience what you are meant to avoid. The pause exists so that movement can happen without chaos. Once time resumes, there will be no margin to negotiate. This is also why obedience feels urgent now. Heaven is not asking you to prepare forever. The window is open now so you can reposition before momentum resumes. When storms hit, movement becomes costly. But when storms are delayed, movement is mercy. God is not pressuring you, He is protecting you. The repositioning may require letting go of people, habits, or expectations that once felt safe. But safety is seasonal. What protected you before may endanger you next. If you ignore this pause, you risk standing in the wrong place when time resumes. God does not want you reacting later when you could have responded now. This is the kindness of warning. Heaven always alerts before impact. Repositioning is proof that God sees what you cannot. Move while you can. Adjust while there is grace. Because when the storm resumes, placement will determine experience. Chosen one, the pressure you are feeling right now is not random, and it is not a sign that you are breaking. It is evidence that release is approaching. Pressure always increases before breakthrough. Heaven never releases weight without first strengthening the vessel that must carry it. What you feel building around you, mentally, spiritually, emotionally, is preparation, not punishment. God applies pressure to reveal weakness, while there is still time to reinforce it. Pressure exposes what celebration would hide. Prophetic extensions always come with demand. When God delays manifestation, He intensifies formation. He requires becoming before receiving because receiving without becoming leads to collapse. Capacity must match blessing. Authority must match assignment. Endurance must match exposure. If God released what you asked for prematurely, it would crush you instead of elevating you. So pressure comes first, not to harm you, but to harden you. Diamonds are not formed in comfort. Neither are carriers of destiny. This pressure is shaping your discernment, sharpening your obedience, and stretching your endurance. It is forcing you to confront habits that would not survive the next level. It is exposing thought patterns that cannot coexist with what God is about to entrust to you. Pressure reveals whether you rely on God or lean on familiarity. It tests whether your foundation is faith or convenience. This is why this season feels intense. Heaven is compressing formation, so release can be sustained. Do not confuse pressure with opposition. Some pressure is divine. God presses on areas that must mature quickly. He does not have time for shallow growth in a season that demands strength. You are being prepared to carry weight, spiritual weight, responsibility, visibility, influence, or authority. And weight requires muscle. Pressure builds muscle. Resistance builds endurance. Refinement builds resilience. This is also why shortcuts are dangerous now. Pressure tempts people to compromise, rush, or escape. But escaping pressure delays promotion. The pressure will not leave until the lesson completes. God is not cruel, He is intentional. He knows exactly how much pressure you can handle, and He will not exceed it. But He will not remove it prematurely either. What you avoid now will meet you again later, often with greater intensity. Stay steady in the pressure. Do not interpret it as a sign to quit. It is confirmation that heaven is investing deeply in you. Pressure means you are close to release, close to breakthrough, close to emergence. You are not being crushed. You are being compressed into something stronger, sharper, and more durable. When the pressure lifts, you will realize it was shaping you into someone capable of carrying what once felt impossible. Chosen one, what you are experiencing right now is not absence, it is sanctification. Time has not been taken from you, it has been set apart. God is consecrating this season because what comes next cannot be touched by what came before. Sanctification always precedes elevation. Heaven isolates what it intends to seal. This is why relationships may be distancing without explanation, conversations feel shallow, and opportunities you once chased seem to pause or disappear altogether. This is not loss, it is filtration. God is removing noise so precision can take place. He is reducing access to protect purity. Silence is one of God's most misunderstood tools. People assume silence means neglect, but silence is often where final instructions are given. God works quietly when something sacred is being finalized. Loud seasons are for exposure. Silent seasons are for sealing. Right now, heaven is sealing your character, your discernment, your spiritual authority, and your identity. What is sealed by God cannot be contaminated by people. That is why access is limited. Everyone does not get to witness this stage because everyone cannot handle what you are becoming. Time is being sanctified because God is removing residue, old expectations, old wounds, old dependencies that would weaken you later. This is why familiar comforts no longer satisfy you. This is why you feel detached from things you once needed to survive. You're ascending, and ascension always feels like loss before it feels like freedom. God is not punishing you with silence. He is protecting the work He is doing in you from premature interference. Divine sealing also means irreversibility. Once God seals something, it is marked for completion. He does not seal beginnings, He seals transitions. This is the stage where heaven says, "This cannot go back to what it was." That is why returning feels impossible. That is why old doors feel heavy. The seal has been applied. You are no longer compatible with past versions of yourself. Time is being sanctified to ensure that what God finishes in you cannot be undone by distraction, fear, or external pressure. If you resist this sanctification, you risk contaminating what God is protecting. This is not a season to force connection, visibility, or movement. It is a season to honor the quiet, respect the separation, and trust the process. What God seals in silence is revealed with authority. When this phase completes, you will not need to explain who you are. Your presence will speak for itself. Chosen one, hear this truth deeply because it reframes everything you have been struggling to understand. The delay you resented was destiny disguised. What you called postponement was protection. What felt like silence was shielding. God did not step away while things fell apart. He stepped in. While visible plans unraveled, heaven was constructing something far more durable beneath the surface. Destiny rarely announces itself in comfortable ways. Often it arrives wrapped in disappointment, confusion, and collapse so that ego cannot interfere with obedience. If God had allowed certain things to work out when you wanted them to, you would have stepped into environments that were not built to sustain you. You would have trusted people who would have drained you. You would have accepted opportunities that looked right but carried long-term damage. So God delayed, not to hurt you, but to hide you. Some delays are divine camouflage. Heaven pulls you back not because you are unworthy, but because visibility would have exposed you too soon. This is why trusting divine pace matters more than visible progress. God values longevity over momentum. What looks like nothing happening is often everything happening invisibly. While you measured success by movement, God measured it by maturity. While you wanted doors to open, God wanted foundations to deepen. Delay gave you time to shed illusions, detox expectations, and strengthen discernment. It saved you from versions of success that would have cost you your peace, your integrity, or your future. Silence was not abandonment, it was insulation. God insulated you from voices that would have redirected you away from purpose. He insulated you from pressure that would have forced premature decisions. Delay protected you from ruin you did not see coming. If God had explained everything, you might not have trusted Him. So He let time do the teaching. Every unanswered prayer trained your faith. Every stalled plan trained your patience. Every closed door trained your discernment. Now you can see more clearly. Now you are less impulsive, less desperate, less willing to settle. That clarity is not accidental. It is the fruit of delay. Destiny does not arrive when you are eager. It arrives when you are anchored. God used delay to stabilize you so that when movement resumes, you move with wisdom instead of emotion. Nothing was wasted. Nothing was stolen. Nothing was late. Delay was not the enemy, it was the architect. Destiny was being constructed quietly while you thought nothing was happening. And now, because of the delay, you are prepared to receive without losing yourself. Chosen one, what you have been feeling lately is not abandonment, even though it may feel painfully lonely at times. This is separation, not isolation, and there is a critical difference between the two. Isolation cuts you off to weaken you, but separation pulls you away to refine you. God is not removing people from your life to punish you. He is removing misalignment so that what comes next does not contaminate what He has prepared. Separation always feels personal, but it is never random. Heaven separates before it elevates. You cannot carry a higher assignment while remaining entangled in environments, conversations, and relationships that were designed for a previous version of you. This is why certain people have faded without conflict, why conversations feel forced, why environments that once felt comfortable now feel heavy or draining. It is not that they suddenly became wrong, it is that you outgrew them. Growth creates distance before it creates clarity. God is quietly disentangling you from what would dilute your focus, drain your energy, or distort your discernment. This is not about superiority, it is about suitability. Not everyone is equipped to walk with you into the next phase, and forcing alignment where God has removed grace only creates unnecessary pain. Loneliness in this season is not a sign of rejection, it is a sign of consecration. God often removes noise so your inner hearing can sharpen. When too many voices surround you, it becomes difficult to discern which one is divine. Separation simplifies the soundscape of your life so that when God speaks, you recognize His voice without confusion. This is why distractions are falling away. This is why invitations no longer excite you. This is why your tolerance for surface-level connection has diminished. You are being set apart, not pushed aside. Being set apart means God is protecting you from relational residue, opinions, projections, and expectations that would have followed you into your future and subtly redirected you. Some people were only meant to know you in one season. Their assignment ended when yours shifted. Letting go does not mean dishonoring them. It means honoring what God is doing now. Clinging to the past out of fear of loneliness only delays alignment. This season is teaching you how to stand without leaning, how to listen without consensus, and how to obey without validation. These are not optional skills for where you are going. Higher assignments require inner stability. God is training you to draw strength from Him first, not from constant affirmation. When this separation completes, you will not feel empty, you will feel clear. And when the right connections arrive, they will recognize you not because you explained yourself, but because your alignment will be unmistakable.